The restaurant buzzed softly with conversation and the clinking of fine crystal, the kind of place where every detail gleamed with understated wealth. Amelia Morgan stood in front of the mirrored wall near the entrance, clutching her purse a little too tightly. Her ex was here, with his new fiancé, and she had made the ridiculous mistake of saying she'd be bringing someone too. Someone perfect, someone successful, but she didn't have anyone. That's when her eyes caught him, Ethan Cole. He was sitting alone at a corner table, scrolling through his phone, a glass of water untouched before him. Even from a distance, his presence radiated quiet command. Broad-shouldered, impeccably dressed, with that air of confidence that came from leading empires. She'd seen him around the building. They worked in the same office complex, but she'd never spoken more than a polite, "Hi." Still, desperate moments called for bold moves. She smoothed her dress, took a breath, and approached. "Hi," she began, her voice trembling slightly. He looked up, and his piercing gray eyes met hers, curious, cautious, but kind. "I know this is going to sound insane," she continued, "but could you pretend to be my date for about an hour?" Ethan blinked, clearly caught off guard. "Excuse me," she rushed on, words spilling out in a nervous blur. "My ex is here, and I told him I've moved on, that I was coming with someone new. I didn't think he'd actually show up tonight, but he's here, and I just..." He held up a hand, fighting the urge to smile at her panic. "You want me to pretend to be your boyfriend?" "Yes," she said, almost whispering. "Just for tonight, please." He leaned back in his chair, studying her. There was something endearing about her honesty, the way her brown eyes held both fear and determination. Most people came to him wanting money, influence, or power. This woman just wanted to save her dignity. After a moment, he chuckled softly. "All right, why not?" She blinked, stunned. "Wait, you'll actually do it?" He stood, buttoning his suit jacket. "Sure, I'm Ethan." He extended a hand, and when she took it, his grip was warm, steady. "Let's go make someone jealous." Amelia exhaled in disbelief as he walked beside her toward her ex's table. Ethan moved with effortless poise, his presence commanding every glance in the room. When they reached the table, her ex, Greg, nearly choked on his wine. "Greg," Amelia said sweetly, looping her arm through Ethan's. "This is Ethan, my boyfriend." Ethan gave Greg a firm handshake that lingered just long enough to make the man uncomfortable. "Nice to meet you," he said with a smile that could slice steel. "Amelia's told me so much about you." Greg shifted, his fiancée, an elegantly cold woman, watching curiously. "Really?" Greg muttered. "I didn't realize you were seeing someone so soon." Ethan looked at Amelia fondly. "When you meet the right person, timing doesn't matter." Amelia's heart skipped a beat. For a moment, it didn't feel like acting at all. They made it through dinner, exchanging subtle smiles and playful banter that drew glances from other tables. Ethan's charm was effortless. He laughed at her nervous jokes, reached for her hand across the table, even brushed a stray curl behind her ear with genuine tenderness. When Greg and his fiancée finally left, looking slightly deflated, Amelia collapsed against her chair, laughing. "Oh my God," she gasped. "That was incredible. You deserve an Oscar." He smiled, watching her eyes light up. "I'll take payment in coffee. Tomorrow morning." She blinked. "Are you serious?" "Of course," he said casually, but there was warmth behind his words. "You're the most interesting thing that's happened to me all week." The next morning, she showed up at the little cafe. Near their office, Ethan was already there, sleeves rolled up, tie loosened, sipping black coffee like a man who carried the world on his shoulders. But when he saw her, his expression softened instantly. They talked for hours, about her work as an event planner, her dream of opening her own studio, his life as a widowed father raising an 8-year-old girl named Sophie. Beneath the sharp edges of his CEO demeanor, she saw the exhaustion of a man who'd loved deeply and lost painfully. By the third coffee meet-up, he confessed, "I don't usually let people in. But you make things feel lighter." And she did. She made him laugh again, made him remember that there was more to life than boardrooms and quarterly profits. A week later, he invited her to his home, under the pretense of discussing a charity gala she was planning. But when she arrived, the first thing she saw was Sophie, a bright-eyed little girl clutching a paintbrush and wearing more colors than her canvas. "Hi," Sophie grinned. "You're Miss Amelia, right? Daddy talks about you a lot." Ethan nearly choked on his coffee, embarrassed. But Amelia just knelt beside Sophie, smiling. "He does, huh? I hope it's all good things." "It's all nice things," Sophie said cheerfully. "He smiles when he says your name." Ethan's gaze softened, and as Amelia helped Sophie clean up her art supplies, he realized something: this wasn't pretend anymore. Over the next few weeks, their fake date turned into something real. Sunday breakfasts, walks in the park, late-night phone calls that ended in laughter and soft goodnights. He'd find excuses to drop by her office, and she'd bring Sophie little gifts, a sketchbook, a ribbon for her hair. But one evening, at a charity gala packed with cameras and suits, Amelia hesitated. "Ethan," she whispered, her hand trembling slightly in his. "People are watching. Are you sure you want to be seen with me? I mean, I'm not from your world." He squeezed her hand. "You are my world." The words silenced everything. The crowd, the music, the doubts. Later that night, as they stood on the balcony overlooking the city, he turned to her and said softly, "You know, that night in the restaurant, I thought I was just helping someone out. I didn't realize I'd be the one saved." Amelia smiled through the tears welling in her eyes. "You make pretending impossible now." He brushed his thumb along her jaw, tilting her chin up. "Then let's stop pretending." And when he kissed her, it wasn't the kiss of a CEO or a man playing a role, it was the kiss of someone who'd finally found home again. The woman who once begged him to be her fake date had become the only real thing in his life.